Have you ever prayed for something over and over and nothing happened? If so, today's episode is for you. Hey, lady bosses, are you working even after putting the kids to bed but still not getting results?
Are you tired of spending money on ads that aren't getting engagement?
Do you feel burdened that you aren't fulfilling your purpose in life because you are so consumed with work?
I'm your host, Brooke Boltz. I'm an attorney and founder of Boltz Legal. I started my business and in 1 year was bringing in 7 figures and am now bringing in multi-7 figures.
And I'm your co-host, Rachel Boltz, owner of Boltz Media. I've helped many businesses build their online presence and increase their revenue through digital marketing.
Want to hear how we did it?
We are here to help you achieve your goals personally, professionally, and spiritually.
So kick off your high heels, sit back, and let's ignite that passion.
We're Miss Biz, where we're putting the miss in biz.
Let's get biz done. From January through July of 2025, Boltz Legal went through the hardest financial season we've ever faced. Every meeting with my fractional CFO, Allison, felt like I was walking into the principal's office. I would hear both from her and both within my own mind, you're operating in the negative, you're going to have to pull more money from savings, you're going to need to move investments around to cover the overhead. And so it was just 7 months of hearing the same thing, 7 months of watching that hole get deeper and deeper, and 7 months of me saying essentially the same prayer. It sounded something like, God, please help me. Please take this burden. Please show me what to do. Please bring in more business. Please help me settle these cases. But nothing changed. And even though the bills got paid, it was only because I was draining what I'd spent years building.
Finances can affect your spirit, your confidence, your sleep, and your decision making. And studies actually back this up as well. 46% of business owners say cash flow is their number one source of stress above competition, hiring, and even customer issues. 82% of small businesses fail due to cash flow problems, not lack of profit. And the average entrepreneur considers quitting every 3 months during financial hardship.
It was funny. I was at a women's meeting recently, and everyone was kind of going around and being candid about kind of just where they are. And we were a close-knit group of women, and one person shared that she, as a business owner, was struggling with the thought of just throwing in the towel and going and getting a job somewhere because it would be so much easier, is what her thought process was. And when she said that, another woman, chimed in, someone who, first of all, none of these women would I ever thought had these type of feelings because they're, dynamic, powerful boss lady business women. And but another one, to my surprise, was like, I think that every week, I think that all the time. I could just go get a job and life would be so much easier. And it just was surprising how many people internally are struggling with these thoughts, and you would never know it because from the outside, they appear to be on top of the world. But I was in some ways at that place between January and July. It was a real struggle. And then something changed in the month of August. In August, I just had a heart-to-heart talk with God. Honestly, it was a one-time prayer. And I said, God, I remember it vividly because I was driving in my car. And I said, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going to pray the same prayer over and over. You put me in this position. You opened the doors for me to be a business owner. I believe this is where my calling is, where my mission is. And I could go work a 9-to-5 somewhere and work for someone else, but I know what that looks like. And I know what would happen is that every every passion or every assignment or every calling that I have aside from that 9 to 5, every mission or ministry in the kingdom gets put aside and it gets shrunk to nothing, because law firm life, working for a law firm, is all encompassing. You have to work at least 10-hour days, sometimes more, and working from home is not usually an option. So your commute plus your hours turns into a 12-hour day every day, and it follows you home, and you're still responding to emails and phone calls in the same way that you are a business owner, but it's now your time is dedicated and owned by someone else, so you don't have the flexibility to go to a business lunch or go to a prayer breakfast or whatever. You don't have that flexibility unless it's building the mission of that law firm you work for. So, I know what that life is like, and I just laid it out to God and said, these are the options, and if something doesn't change, that's where I'm headed. And from a financial standpoint, I am an experienced lawyer, and I could do very well and pay my family bills with a 9 to 5 job, but I know what the sacrifice would be as well. And I just said, I don't feel in my heart of hearts that that's where you're leading me. I don't feel like that's what I don't feel like that's where you, God, are calling me to be, is working a 9 to 5. Or actually I should say like an 8 to 7 is what it was more like. But I'm not praying about this again. Like I'm not begging day after day, week after week for you to help me. I've dedicated this business to you, and so this is your problem, not mine. I'm giving it to you fully, and I'm not thinking about it one more second. And in that moment, I surrendered what I'd been struggling with for 7 months. Do you love the Miss Biz podcast?
Because we love you.
Here's 3 things you can do to show your support.
1, write us a review. Apple, Spotify, and Google My Business are the best platforms to write a review.
2, follow us on social media. Our handle is @MissBizPodcast.
3, join our Facebook group, Miss Biz Nation, for exclusive content and behind-the-scenes footage. Also, ask questions related to your business and discuss topics from our episodes. So, after you said that prayer, what happened?
I mean, it was almost an immediate change. Like, honestly, that same month, and I don't remember what time of the month it was that I prayed that prayer, but I remember that same month of August, the finances and the work coming into the business shifted. We just had a great month in August. Everything, it was dramatically better than the prior months. And I, of course, noticed the improvement, but I didn't talk about it right away because I was afraid maybe it was just one good month,
right,
and I didn't want to celebrate too early, and just wasn't sure if it was going to be a permanent change. But then September was strong, October was strong, and now we are midway through November when we're recording this, and so far we're off to a good start as well. And I met with the fractional CFO yesterday to look at the numbers for the third quarter, or actually numbers through the end of October, and that 7-month hole we had dug in the following 3 months was cut in half.
That's incredible.
And it put us on track that by the end of this year, it's looking like we will probably break even and maybe even be slightly profitable.
That's awesome.
And that was, you think about 7 months of the year was just digging. And then in the next 5 months, recovering from that, there was a major shift, and nothing has changed in terms of our efforts. We're doing all the same things that we were doing before, but there was just, the Lord took control of it, and I released it, and I stopped worrying about it, and I just stopped dwelling on it and focusing. and praying over and over the same thing. So, there's no new marketing campaign we did. We didn't hire anyone new. There was no magical business strategy. It just came from releasing it and stop begging.
I think that's one of the most difficult things to do when we're talking to God, is just to completely let go and let God. There's still that part of us as humans that just wants to hold on to it and control it and say I'm giving it to you, God, but then secretly, still hold on to a portion of that instead of fully letting go. So what kind of tips do you have for those who maybe aren't able to fully let it go or holding on to it?
I think that a lot of times I may have thought I was letting go, but not really. Mm-hmm. And I think what you have to do is to truly take control of every thought and not let yourself think about it. It's almost like ignoring what you know is there. Yeah. And just saying, that's your problem, God. Yeah. It's yours. It's not my problem. I'm not, my friend the other day was given a speech and she goes, it's not my business. It's none of my business. And it's like, it technically is your business, but in your mind, not my business. God, this is your business and you're going to have to deal with it. Yeah. Sorry about your luck. Because I
believe in you.
Yeah. You got this. Go.
That's too funny. But a great tip, and hopefully that our listeners will be able to take that, and that'll lead some encouragement that it is possible. You just have to not think about it. So some real examples from entrepreneurs who have struggled. The first example that we have is Dave Ramsey. He had a major transformation and rebuild. After losing everything in his 20s, Ramsey said he spent 2 years begging God for financial rescue. Nothing changed until he said, God, I'm done begging. I'll walk the path you put in front of me. And that surrender mindset is what started the financial peace empire. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and another example is Joyce Myers. She prayed for years for breakthrough, but she says that the shift came when she finally said the prayer, Lord, I'm done trying to make this happen. If you want it, you will grow it. And then within months, her ministry expanded beyond anything she could have orchestrated on her own. Sometimes I think God wants us to get to that place of surrender so that we realize we can't do it alone. Mm-hmm. And sometimes he may just be waiting. Yeah. I mean, for me, he may have just been waiting that 7 months being like, okay, when are you gonna realize that you can't do this yourself? Mm-hmm. And as soon as I said, all right, I'm done, he was like, thank you. Yeah. Now I can fix the problem, Yeah.
Well, he wants us to be completely dependent on him. And so a lot of times, I believe he'll use certain situations and circumstances just to kind of bring us back to him and have that closer bond with him. Some real examples from the Bible come from Exodus 14, where Moses was at the Red Sea. And basically what was said was, why are you crying out to me? Tell the people to move forward.
Yeah, so Moses is at the Red Sea, and he can't go any further. He's got the Egyptian army coming after him, and he's praying, of course, crying out to God, like, where do we go? What do we do? And God says, why are you crying? Tell the people to move forward. And then the sea opened and everybody walked through. And so that just really spoke to me about stop crying and give it to God and he'll open the door.
Yeah, no, that's a great verse.
You know we're all about that case, no trouble. All about that case, no trouble. All about that case, no trouble. All about that case.
At Boltz Legal, we are all about your case. Text or call to schedule a free consultation for all your legal needs. BoltzLegal.com.
Another example is Luke 5, where Peter had fished all night. He did everything that he knew how to do. He used his skill, his experience, his strategy, and caught nothing. And then Jesus asked him to throw the net again in broad daylight at the wrong time in the wrong place. But Peter obeyed, and then the net overflowed.
Yeah. I mean, this speaks to me so much, because this is kind of exactly what I felt like I was doing. I know how to fish. I'm going in the place where fishing has worked for, where I've caught fish before, doing all the same things in the right place, in the right time, and everything else, but I'm not catching any fish. And when Peter surrendered and God said, do something different, and he did, and it worked.
Right.
So it was just about, I don't think there was anything magical about throwing the nets on the other side of the boat or trying again. It was really about that, getting to that place of surrender and asking and giving it over to God, who then changes things.
Absolutely. So what this means for you is, maybe if you're in a season where you keep praying the same prayer over and over, God help me, God fix this, God take this burden, but if you're honest, you haven't released it, you're still holding on, analyzing it, and carrying it. This is what Brooke has learned, and I've learned through previous experiences as well, is prayer is asking, surrender is trusting, and that breakthrough happens at the moment of release.
So we have to stop praying the same panic, begging prayer. We've all been there. We have to stop begging God for something you're still gripping with white knuckles, and stop asking him to take what you refuse to lay down. And so this week, here is our challenge to you, because I think everyone in their life has something that they are continually praying for and continually asking God, and not seeing maybe it's your marriage, maybe it's your kids, maybe it's your business, maybe it's your family relationships, who knows? But I feel like everybody can relate in some way to that one thing that you keep asking and not getting victory over. And so identify that thing this week, that thing that you just keep praying about but haven't surrendered. Maybe it's finances, a relationship, a business decision, your future, and identify it and speak it out. Then make an August moment of your own. So say the words out loud. God, I'm giving this to you, and I am not carrying it one more second. Stop revisiting what you've already released. Once you release it, it's done. If you've surrendered it, don't pick it back up. Don't re-pray again. The same fear. Don't reopen the anxiety. It's really kind of just like pretending it doesn't exist. It's like ignoring it. And I know that sounds different than what we usually are recommending when it comes to business, but sometimes it's what you have to do. I mean, you just have to do it. And then once you get your breakthrough, glorify God for what he did. Tell other people about it. Tell people what he did for you. Give him the glory. And your breakthrough might be the hope that someone else needs who's going through that same struggle.
Very true. So when you stop begging God to move and you start trusting that He already has a plan, things begin to shift. Your August moment might be right around the corner. You just have to release what you've been clinging on to. So if this episode encouraged you, please share it with someone who is in their own tough season, and make sure that you subscribe so that you never miss an episode of Miss Biz.
We appreciate you and are honored to be on this journey with you. We can't wait to help you, to encourage you, and show you how to grow personally, professionally, and spiritually.
If you found Miss Biz helpful, please leave a review and share with others.
You can follow us on social media at Miss Biz Podcast.
For legal questions or services, please visit boltzlegal.com.
And for digital marketing needs, please visit boltzmedia.com. Let's get biz done.